I don't believe it. What's up guys, Truman here, welcome back to another video. So I cannot believe it, but I actually managed to fulfill a health promise that I said I was going to keep doing again and again and again since last year, and that is to actually make a health video. Now, this is going to be the one that was requested about 2 months ago, about 3 ways to actually heal the skin. Naturally, cheaply, and anecdotally works for me, and I'm going to show you the science behind it as well as showing you some tips and tricks as to how to do it, like showing you how to do the actual process itself. And I'm going to try and do it before my computer melts, because these yellow things are my CPU, and I'm currently trying to render a video with the fans turned off, so that it doesn't actually have this annoying background noise. So anyway, let's just get into it. So the 2/3 things that I recommend everyone to be doing, and I'm going to show you how to make this to improve your skin. You can do it right now, it's relatively cheap. Is to get some coconut oil, some turmeric, and some black pepper. What you're going to do is you're going to make a recipe that's going to boost your skin, digestion, boost your heart health. As it says here, boost your immunity, it's anti-carcinogenic, reduces cholesterol, liver detoxifier, all that good stuff. But before we get started, I have to encourage everyone, if you haven't already, press the notification bell and all that good stuff, especially if you want to see more future health videos. I also have a health channel where I talk about other things aside from health, like my own personal experiences and stuff. That's also going to be in the description. So the first thing that you're going to need to get is coconut oil. This is extremely easy to get. You can get it usually from your convenience stores, or I actually recommend going down to the health stores. Like I actually get mine from eBay, which isn't technically a health store, but you know what I mean. It has to be organic and it has to be cold pressed, because that is the only way that you are going to be able to properly preserve the amino acids that are currently in there. As you can see here, coconut oil is high in all of these different amino acids, all of which have different effects. Like caprylic acid is a very good digestive cleanser, linoleic and oleic acid are also good for blood pressure and the skin itself, but it has to be organic. It cannot be some of the other stuff like the £2.50 stuff from the coconut oil. Like I've had people come in and say, oh, I can buy coconut oil really cheaply for like $2. It's like, yeah, you can, but it's going to be like a fraction of the cost. The only thing that coconut oil is good for is going to be for oil pulling. If you're going to be doing oil pulling, then the other coconut oil is good because it's cheap and you can do it more or less every single day. I do it, it's great for different teeth health. And the next ingredient to get, you're going to have to get is turmeric. But first, can someone please answer me a question? Why is it that on all of these beauty and skincare sites, they always have a picture of a woman that is wearing makeup? Like, I get it, it's meant to be teaching people about health, but like, applying levels of petroleum to your face is not skincare. And there go all of my female subscribers. But anyway, so turmeric is another one which is absolutely amazing. It's sort of one of those things that you actually get tired of people talking about. People say, oh, it's a fad, oh, everyone's talking about turmeric. Oh, in my day we had turmeric, this, all that, and the other. Look, listen. Fads are fads for a reason. Fads are fads because they work, not because people are talking about them all the time. I mean, yeah, it's also that, but you know what I mean. Turmeric is amazing. It not only has benefits for skin, but it has 1,000,001 different recipes that you can work it into. If you're not taking turmeric on a daily basis, then I suggest getting it into your system. The way that I'm going to show you is actually a great way to get turmeric into the system, but the only issue is that some people talk about putting turmeric on the skin and stuff like that. I'm not going to be talking about that because, as many of you know, turmeric is difficult to get out. In fact, I could probably make an entire new orange, / beige jacket just out of turmeric. It is dyeing powder. There's a reason for that. And most importantly, if you're going to be getting this, if you're going to be taking turmeric in any form, you need to have it with black pepper. As you can see here, there is research that basically showed that taking black pepper, so if you're taking turmeric without black pepper, you are totally wasting your time. Also, if you're buying any turmeric supplements that don't have black pepper, throw them in the bin. They are a waste of time unless they are a specific curcumin extract that has piperine, aka black pepper. Piperine and black pepper, same thing. Long story short, don't take turmeric without black pepper. And just towards the science as well, turmeric, powerful antioxidant, boosts the body's immune systems, reduces inflammation. This is a big one. Science has shown that basically... Now, this is a big one because inflammation is honestly the cause of a lot of different problems. It's the cause of joint issues. This is why people talk about how turmeric is great for joint issues. Really helps with inflammation. Turmeric prevents against the onset of Alzheimer's. Why? Because there's a lot of evidence to show that the brain is inflamed, mainly because of heavy metals and all sorts of other things. Turmeric helps to solve that. So it helps to possible anti-cancer effects. Calming, again, the inflammation helps with the skin calming effect too. So it reduces eczema, acne, dermatitis, and all the other good stuff. Again, the recipe that I'm going to be showing you is not going to be putting it on the skin. Some people encourage it, but this is not going to be one of those things. So how do we make this? Now, I originally actually recorded this whole thing with audio, but I didn't realize that I had the ventilator fan on, or you couldn't hear me at all. So I was going to walk you through this. What you can see here is I have my coconut oil, I have my big spoon, and I have my container, and this is the first step. I'm going to melt this coconut oil. Now, for some people, it can be a bit messy, but I find that if you use a stainless steel spoon, and obviously the spoon won't actually be damaged by the actual process, it should actually melt quite quickly. Now, there are other methods to do it, like you can leave it out in the sunlight, or some people stick it in a microwave. I really don't recommend that. But anything you can do to get it melted, the better. Now, I recommend, what I'm using right there is about 2 tablespoons. So that's a very big spoon. I think they call it a soup spoon or something like that. No, it's not a soup spoon, but it's quite large. So I would recommend for people actually doing this, start off with only a tablespoon, because coconut oil is going to cleanse your system out a lot. And this is actually one of the secrets behind the skin healing. Skin healing is gut healing. Bottom line, if you have skin issues, it is going to be a gut issue. It's very rare that you have a problem with the skin and your gut is out of line. So if you cannot tolerate more than a teaspoon of coconut oil, use flaxseed oil. Any other oil, any healthy oil like avocado oil, flax oil, hemp oil, anything you can use, because the mix of coconut oil can sometimes be too much for people. If you are listening to this and you have any sort of gut issues, or if you're if you're unsure about your health, or if you've never had coconut oil before, don't start off with a lot of coconut oil. Use flax, or if you do use coconut oil, only use a teaspoon and then work your way up from there, because you're going to start to cleanse your system out very much. So once we have the melted oil, we're going to be using some turmeric, and as you can see there, it is only 79p. Turmeric is very cheap to get. You can probably get it a lot cheaper than that, but it doesn't have to be organic, as long as... And it doesn't have to be organic, like I said. It really isn't actually that important, for the simple reason that turmeric, you can find it anywhere, and the organic only means that it has less pesticides. As long as it hasn't been sitting on some shelf for ages in indirect sunlight, you're more or less okay for turmeric. And with the turmeric, you're going to add some to the mix of coconut oil or flaxseed oil. Again, I have to reiterate, coconut oil is not for everyone, so if you do not have that, have flaxseed oil. Now, as for the turmeric dosage, I generally tend to add about anywhere between a teaspoon to a tablespoon. Now, I usually use roughly about 2 to 3 teaspoons of turmeric, for the simple reason that it is extremely safe to consume. Now, for some people, for me, for example, I need to start adding black pepper, and now, unfortunately, I try to add black pepper, but I can't because it's actually empty. But I will actually be using black pepper for this, and I find that this recipe is extremely effective for me. After I actually have it, usually within about a few hours, my skin starts to shine. But I'm a bit different. Because my digestive system is actually relatively clean, what you will find is that the turmeric is actually absorbed a lot easier, and because of that, my skin starts to shine within hours. For other people, it can take a bit longer. It can take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, which is why if you follow this recipe, and if you follow the instructions, and if you're unsure, I'll put all the details in the description, you will start to see improvements in skin within the first few days, if not a week. And this is the most important step, the black pepper. Black pepper is extremely important. As I showed you before, black pepper increases the amount of absorption from turmeric by 2000%. Now, I actually struggle with this one, but I add usually around about 1 to 2 teaspoons of black pepper to the formula at a time. Sometimes you can go higher. Sometimes people will match it about half black pepper, half turmeric. And once you have that, what I'm actually adding towards the end here is flaxseed oil. I do like to mix it up regardless. Now, that is not a very good brand because it has toasted sesame oil inside of it. So it is quite high in some of the PUFAs or polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are actually kind of bad for you. And I probably do need to do a video about why fish oil... Sorry, got to pause this, guys. Fish oil is not what you think it is. People are harping on about fish oil and how good it is, but unfortunately, most fish oil these days is actually toxic for the body. Mainly because it is not sustainably made, it is highly oxidized, it is kept in some fridge for ages, and by the time you actually start to take it, it starts to oxidize very heavily in the body and creates oxidative stress. So if you are taking fish oil, I do recommend switching to something like flaxseed oil or avocado oil or hemp oil or something, but unless you can get a nice nice, good, clean source of fish oil, just swap, quite frankly, because I've stopped taking it. I've really got to do a video on the research for that. But anyway, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. It needs to be mixed up properly, mainly because the pepper will most likely fall to the bottom, which is why I'm actually adding some more here. And once you've actually properly mixed it up, then you can actually start to take it. Again, like I said, this is not making turmeric paste. Turmeric paste is another recipe. Turmeric paste is a recipe that I used to make, but it was extremely messy and can take a lot longer time, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can ruin your clothes. Although I will say the difference between this and turmeric paste is that turmeric paste you can store for a period of time. This you more or less have to make once or twice a day. I recommend just having it about once a day, and again I'll put the whole recipes down in the description. And this is more or less a one-use thing. Now, I usually use this about twice a day. Again, I usually use about a tablespoon of coconut oil and about a teaspoon of flaxseed oil. I do not, again, recommend you do any more than a teaspoon of coconut oil. And again, if you are using the turmeric, I recommend about 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. Again, this is totally up to you. And then adding about half of the amount of turmeric in black pepper, or a quarter if it's too much of black pepper. Mix it up as much as you can. Down it, you will see results within weeks. Me, I feel results within hours, but again, that's because my digestive system is already quite clean, so it goes right into my system, and you can see it shine. I turn orange. I turn almost Trumpian, but a natural kind of Trumpian for a period of time. Anyway, that's what I'm going to say for today. Hopefully this was informative. I'm going to be doing more short form videos like this one, although this is probably going to be highly edited because I've actually turned this on and off trying to get the right kind of recordings, because I keep turning on the mic without actually checking it's actually working. So if you have any questions, I have an email or in the comment section. In fact, comment section is probably easier. I have too many emails to deal with at the moment. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Hopefully this was informative. Freeman out, and peace.